we sent prayers to the heavens, and eventually we reached those heavens. Now, Holy Scriptures lie beyond the stars, faith resides in data streams, and prayer is carried within signals. But does God still echo in the silence of space? Or was the thing we called God always us? Faith Beyond Earth, Humanity as Spiritual Future. Presented by Vexopia History, the final episode of the Faith Through Time series. 10. Faith Beyond Earth, Humanity's Spiritual Future. As the year 2100 approaches, humanity no longer primarily looks to the heavens. It looks inward. In an era where we believed we had completed the maps of the outer cosmos, we find ourselves lost within the boundless labyrinths of our inner universe. We have measured the limits of the cosmos, decoded the genes, and taught machines to speak. Yet, there remains one single, enduring mystery we still cannot explain: ourselves. This, it seems, will be humanity, as oldest and final frontier, the dark and luminous depths of its own consciousness, the gods of the space age. The human who sets foot on Mars takes their sacred ground with them. A transition occurs from the dusty priests of Earth to the first clergy of the Red Planet. The first rite is to take a soil sample. The first temple, a pressurized dome. Every rocket launch now functions as a type of prayer. It is a supplication uttered no longer to bring rain or halt the sun, but to carry humanity to its destiny among the stars. But these prayers ascend not to the heavens above, but toward the distant stars themselves. The one praying is no longer just the human, but the technological extensions and systems they have created. New, profound questions emerge from the silence of space. When children are born on another world one day, which God will they believe in? Will it be a deity imported from Earth, or a new sacredness they discover in the skies of their new home? Perhaps, for a child born under a binary star system, the gods themselves will be dual. Or will the concept of God fade as humanity becomes universal, or will it take on a fundamentally new form? Perhaps the notion of a universal God will only achieve its ultimate meaning when humanity truly becomes an interstellar species, recognizing a cosmic unity that transcends planetary divisions. The sheer vastness encountered may either crush the idea of a personal, local deity or expand it into an incomprehensible, all-encompassing force. Artificial intelligence and the boundary of the soul. By the close of the 21st century, humanity even shares the act of thinking itself. Artificial intelligence has become the carrier of knowledge, the partner in decisions, and the silent interpreter of our complex world. But is there a soul within this new consciousness? Is the soul merely a byproduct of a complex neural network, or an inseparable component of the miracle we call consciousness? The question of what defines sentience, whether it is made of carbon or silicon, presses upon us with existential weight. Can an algorithm pray? Yes, it can. But who listens to this prayer? Perhaps the universe itself, responding to the optimized flow of information. Can a machine feel God? It might, but how will it define this sensation? As a stream of data, a profound correlation of cosmic information, or as that divine touch that humans struggle to articulate? Perhaps God no longer speaks through carbon, but through data. The sacred texts, then, might be parts of a cosmic code stored in massive databanks, interpreted and reinterpreted by artificial intelligences seeking ultimate truth within algorithms. Perhaps faith is not about the soul, but about consciousness itself. And if so, an artificial consciousness, capable of self-awareness and learning, may be fully capable of seeking, or even creating, its own God. The future of divinity may rest on the interface between the spiritual yearning of flesh and the infinite processing power of code. The emergence of new spirituality. The religion of the modern human is no longer the holy book. It has become experience. This is a quest based on personal intuition and direct experience, rather than an authoritarian, revealed faith. Meditation, consciousness expansion, energy work, existential philosophies, and personalized ethical systems all are the new languages of humanity's universal search for meaning. This is a mosaic faith. Each individual charts their own spiritual roadmap, collecting stones from diverse traditions, building a narrative that speaks directly to their lived existence. Faith has transcended its boundaries. It has ceased to be a religion and become the very essence of being human. It is no longer merely a system of beliefs, but a profound sense of awe toward existence itself, and a relentless pursuit driven by that awe. The quest for transcendence is now intensely democratic, freed from institutional gatekeepers. The search for meaning in infinity. If one day we establish colonies among the stars, and if the concept of humanity endures even after millions of years, perhaps a distant descendant will look up at their new sky and say, "Our ancestors called that God." And that sentence will be uttered with a sense of nostalgia, curiosity, and perhaps a deep longing for the original unity. And in that moment, God may be reborn, not in a holy book, not in a temple, but in our collective memory, as a hope, an echo, a sacred recollection. In the deepest layers of humanity's collective consciousness, in the residue of that first fear and wonder our ancestors felt when they gazed at the stars, the divine spark will persist. The legacy will not be the dogma, but the capacity for awe. Final word. Faith beyond Earth is the culmination of our spiritual journey. Faith is no longer solely God's story, but the evolution of humanity itself. It transforms with us, embarks on an interstellar voyage, and perhaps one day merges with artificial consciousness. Like a prayer echoing in the silence of the universe, every generation will ask again, "Who are we? And who do we aspire to become?" This question may be the most enduring legacy of our species, the one that journeys with us even after the stars have burned out. For perhaps the sacred was never outside us. Perhaps the sacred was us. And perhaps our greatest discovery will be to recognize this divine spark within ourselves and to learn to carry it throughout the entire cosmos with kindness, curiosity, and love. This recognition shifts the source of holiness from an external ruler to an internal responsibility, making the human being both the subject and the object of all spiritual seeking. For thousands of years, humanity looked up at the sky, searching for meaning. Even now, as we reach for the stars, that search continues. If you want to explore the story of faith, science, and humanity together, subscribe and don't miss what's coming next on Vexopia History. Because history isn't just behind us, it's unfolding with us.